that the creator of the vast light years of the universe and all of the galaxies takes a personal interest in each one of us. I know it's crazy, but that's what we believe. And when you believe in the importance of words, you started off down the road to becoming a writer. I recited my verse every Sunday morning for Sunday school, and my aunts sat and they listened to me. And I recited it to them. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall live in the house of the Lord forever. And they congratulated me on my good enunciation, which starts you off down the road towards radio. I started out in radio as a newscaster, which is easy if you grew up evangelical because you've learned the tones of solemnity. And so, now we learned the parable of the prodigal son. We learned the story of David and Bathsheba. The very same one who wrote the 23rd Psalm also saw this naked woman and seduced her and sent her husband off to die in battle, which is a nasty piece of business. So you find stories in that. The younger son who ran away from home is the one whom the father awaits, looking down the road, and when he sees that prodigal coming, he doesn't walk, he runs and throws his arm around him and calls to the servants to find the fatted calf, we're going to feast. And the dutiful older son who had done everything the father wanted says, what about me? You never gave a feast for me. The father says, all that I have is yours. But here, the lost has come back, and we will celebrate. That's a story. You read that story and you become interested in the stories. Mrs. Shaver kept me after school, first grade, because I was a slow reader. And she had me read aloud to her from poetry. Breathes there the man with soul so dead, who never to himself had said, this is my own, my native land, whose heart hath never with any bird as homeward his footsteps he hath turned for wonder, not so And Bill the janitor came in and Mrs. Shaver said, listen to this boy. Doesn't he have a lovely voice? He's entertaining me as I'm correcting workbooks. This simple act of kindness. They didn't have the term special needs back then. They didn't have the term autistic. I felt privileged. I didn't feel remedied, I felt privileged. These things set you on your path. Mrs. Molenbrock in the 4th grade, I was teased by bullies on the playground of Vincent School, and she let me go to the library, my favorite. And you think, there are possibilities with language. Amazing things can be done in just 5 lines. A young couple from Aberystwyth united the lips that they kissed with, and then in their passion, after a fashion, united the parts that they pissed with. No, you remember these things. You keep them in your head. No, we were not sheltered from things back in the grades. We sang about the Erie Canal when the gin was getting low. Gin in the 4th grade? Huh? Really? Well, but it was art. He was armed, you know. He sang about the Titanic and the husbands and wives, the little children lost their lives. It was sad when the great ship went down. And we sang a murder ballad in the 4th grade. Frankie and Johnny were sweethearts. Look at how they could love. They swore to be true to each other, true as the stars above. He was her man, but he was doing her wrong. She went down to the bar room to get her a bucket of beer. Asked, my loving Johnny's been here. The bartender said, I don't want to cause you no trouble, but I ain't going to tell you no lie. I saw your lover about an hour ago with that woman, Nellie Bly. So she goes down to the pawn shop and gets her a big 44. She goes down to the hotel, rings the hotel bell. She looks over the transom, and there to her great surprise, there on the bed sat Johnny with that woman, Nellie Bly. She reached under her kimono. He said, good Lord, Frankie, don't shoot. She pulled out that 44, and the gun went Rudy toot toot. 4th grade. Nowadays, 4th graders are singing songs about respecting each other's differences. We sang about murder. We loved that the next verse. The first time she shot him, he staggered. The second time she shot him, he fell. The third time, there was a southwest wind from the northeast corner of hell. He was a man. He was doing her wrong. Goes up to trial, jury, innocent. To believe in justifiable homicide in the 4th grade. Wow. Amazing. And the last verse of the song. This story has no moral. This story has no end. This story only goes to show there ain't no good in men that'll do you wrong. Just as sure as you, some of you here have learned this song. Yes. Are they teaching it anymore? I doubt this. Very, very much. No, we love sad songs.